mentioned about getting social media organised, and there's actually a really sort of simple way of doing it, and you just create a really sort of simple calendar. And it's dead easy to do, and I'm going to show you the easy peasiest. Oh, by the way, I should have mentioned, you can have a copy of these slides. I'm going to give you a link at the end where you can download them. So you can just relax, chill, and listen, and join in, and without worrying about having to write everything down manually. So we're going to look at a really simple calendar that looks at different times you get your content organised. This will be really good for you if you're going to be doing it on behalf of clients. And a really good thing to do is create a calendar for each client. And then I've got 11, I don't know why it's 11, but I've come up with 11 different types of content that you can use. The good news is you don't have to write anything. There's all different kinds of sort of things that you can use, and I'm going to rattle through those. And then I've come up with 20 killer ideas for writing blog posts. Now the reason that the blog posts are so good, because it's content that resides on your website. And you can use it to drive traffic to your website, because you're going to take the link from what you've written and you're going to post it out on social media with a little bit of blurb, and hopefully that will drive people back to your website. So that's why that's a good thing to do. But the good news is, blogs don't have to be big, long, you don't have to write War and Peace or anything. There's lots of different ways in which you can do it that makes it really easy. So every one of you will go skipping out here, hopefully, bursting with ideas of what you're going to start blogging about. We've got a little bit about titles and headlines. Then I've got kind of a section which I kind of call shameless shares. You know, this is where you start to sort of get into sort of funny cat picture territory. Now, I'm not saying that that's right or wrong for anybody's business, but I'm just telling you the things that get shared the most often, and then you can make a decision about what's right for you. And then I've got a few tools to show you to make the job easier. Okay? Right, let's see how we go. Right, first thing I've got here is, let's have a look at these Twitter. This is a Twitter feed. Now, just have a quick look down those, and which one of those do you think looks interesting enough to make you want to click it open? Right, let's start with the top. Project D, 3 reasons to skip career advice from your family. Who wants to click that one? Nobody. Why not? Oh, one person. Why isn't that interesting to you? You haven't got a family, right? Okay, what else? It doesn't tell us very much, does it? Right, next one. Local news for Furness, South Cumbria. Is that a good headline? Too general. Good, top marks. Remember that. Too general. Right, next one down, we've got 2 from Radio 4. So they'll start with the bottom one. The NHS's finances can only be described as dire. The Health Foundation's Anna Charlesworth, Radio 4 today is the hashtag. Why, and then of course you've got a second part. Right, that's rubbish tweet. Why is that rubbish?
Too long.
Huh?
Too long.
No, it's not because it's too long, it's because it's already happened. So what is the point of them? I don't know why they do that. Why are they tweeting something that's already happened? So unless you go onto iPlayer and track that particular down in the whole of the 2-hour segment of the Today programme, that's you know, really silly, isn't it? So that's not working particularly well. Bali tourists will be thirsty if Indonesia implements strict alcohol laws. Interesting. It's specific. Now, if you were interested in that, that would be of interest to you, if you see what I mean. So it's probably out of all of them, that's probably the best one, but you would have to, but it's quite niche. Right, let's look at North West Evening Mail. Today's traffic and travel. Interesting? Who's going to click that one?
What if you're going somewhere?
If you're going somewhere, right, okay, so that has clickability. Next one. You don't need to remember anything as long as you only remember the truth. Who likes the quote ones? Why not?
Well, because it just fills it up and you've got reams and reams and reams of stuff to scroll through. It's of no interest and no relevance.
Right, okay, thank you. Anybody like the quotes that people put out on social media? So, yeah, social media is awash with people quoting Gandhi and quoting the Dalai Lama and quoting, you know, this person and that person. Personally, I mean, it's a very personal thing. Some people will disagree, but I think if you're short of time, that is just it's just waste of things. I was going to say waste of ink, but it's not ink. It's waste of digital ink. So that does nothing for me. I'm not remotely interested in that. Right, next one, Project Eve, 5 ways to avoid a holiday hangover. Who likes that one? I think that's pretty good. Yeah. Right, yeah. So now you're starting. So it's specific. It's something specific that is of genuine interest to a great number of people. It's interesting and or useful. It's useful information.
Useful for the future.
It's useful information. Yeah, very good, yeah. There you go. Right, now we're getting there. Now we're, getting it. Right, so we've got a list. We've got 5 things. So you know that you're not going to be faced with War and Peace to read, point 1. Secondly, it's specific. And it's useful. Useful information. And the next one, Huffington Post, 10 travel hacks that will instantly upgrade your trip. What about that one?
It's got visual content.
It's got a bit of visual content, so it's got a picture of a very sort of smug-looking person who's just sort of got his way, blagged his way into a first-class lounge. Sorry?
Potential benefit to you.
Benefit to you, useful information, and it's specific, isn't it? It's got a number. You know what you're going to be dealing with. So that's quite interesting, isn't it? So just I just thought that was really useful to just look at a live Twitter feed and you sort of think there's actually a very small percentage of them that are actually going to get clicked on. This is my LinkedIn page, and again, just to give you, I won't go through that because we won't have time to go through all of them, but it just gives you an idea of the way that content sort of presents itself, and you need to decide, is that interesting or isn't it? Now, out of all of those 3, probably the best one I think is Angela Huck's disciplinary letters. It's something that could be possible. I mean, I don't hire anybody, but I have clients that might be interesting too, so I might share that. So think about it when you're doing any type of social media content. Think about, is it either useful or is it entertaining? It's got to be one or the other. And if it doesn't fall into either of those categories, what's the point of doing it, especially for a short time? So think about that. Think about being useful to your audience. Okay, let's move on. Right, I'm just going to sort of dip into this calendar thing. I'm on the page that I've created where you can download all the slides. I've created a template that you can download and use and play with to your heart's content. But what it looks like is this. Now, I've divided this up into lots of boxes, as you can see. What I've got is, going along the top, we have our months. And then going down the side, I have lots of different things. So the top left, I've got seasonal, happenings, and fixed commitments. So seasonal things. So let's say, for example, you're running a small guest house. So through the year, you have rise and fall of people coming. And so there's always something going on every month. So we've got, in January, it's New Year. In February, you've got Valentine's Day. In March, you've got Mother's Day. And so on and so forth. And just about every month of the year, there is something in the calendar. You can make use of that. So specials for Valentine's Day, blog topics, writing blogs about ways to keep your love alive, depending on what kind of business you're in. If you're a florist. So things like this is a gift for a business like yours. So you need to think about what is going on, what are the primers in the consumer's mind that could potentially make them want to purchase something and purchase something from you. And so utilise what's in their heads. They're thinking about Christmas, they're thinking about New Year, they're thinking about Valentine's Day, they're thinking about Mother's Day, they're thinking about Easter, and so on and so forth. Use it. And then within that, what things tend to happen around those times? So we've got, New Year's Eve, there might be firework displays locally. So if you're running a B&B, you might want to offer something useful to your customers and potential customers by saying, here's a roundup of the 5 best firework displays in Cumbria going on for New Year's Eve. You might do something like that. So around February, it might be Valentine's Day, but it might be half term. So then you have to sort of think, well, okay, so have a happy Valentine, but that you can bring the kids to, and you might organise something, create something. And flower shows going on. So again, florist, gift for you. You can do a roundup of curated stuff of the best floral displays at Chelsea Flower Show. But you get the idea. Now then, when you're thinking about the content that you're going to create, I've split it into 4 different sections. The first one I call topical. Now, topical content is the things that are in the bigger picture stuff. So for January, you might have something like find New Year's resolutions that you'll actually keep this year. If you're a professional declutterer, January gift for you, New Year's resolution. That's a brilliant time for you. Here's interesting ways to get all the family involved in clearing out their cupboards, whatever, and so on. So you have something that's topical that ties in with what's sort of going on for the time of year, or sort of big ticket events that are going on. If there's general election going on, you might make reference to that. If there's a referendum going on, you look at everything that's around you and you sort of think, what can I make use of? What can I comment on? And the next thing I've got is what I call About You section. Now, has anybody ever done Cumbria Hour on Twitter? Does anybody not know what Cumbria Hour is? Right, so Cumbria Hour is, and you need, and it's hashtag Cumbria Hour. Does anybody not know what the hashtag is on Twitter? Right, so hashtag if you put a hashtag on Twitter, it's kind of like you just think everything that's on Twitter, everything that's posted on Twitter is just like a giant mega database. And if you put a hashtag next to a specific phrase, it will pull in all of the tweets that relate to that particular topic. And there is one called hashtag Cumbria Hour. And Cumbria Hour takes place on a Monday night between 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock. And it's Cumbrian businesses who would join in and have little chit-chats about something. And every time they do it, they have a theme. So there might be a theme of how to improve customer service, or how can we, the Cumbrian businesses, attract more visitors to the area. There will be a theme. And people have sensible discussions about it on Twitter. And at the end of each tweet that you do, you just remember to put hashtag Cumbria Hour, and then anybody else clicks on that hashtag or puts that hashtag in, they'll get to see all the tweets that have been written about it. Now, what sometimes happens during the middle of Cumbria Hour, because it's well publicised and documented and it's easy to find, there are swathes of companies out there who know when these Twitter hours happen, and they create a whole load of pre-timed hard sales tweets that go out that are using that hashtag, that appear in the Cumbria Hour feed just out of nowhere, because they've been pre-timed. They're not even participating in it, they just appear. And what happens is that you notice is that they don't call it Twitter for nothing. Is when these things start to appear, you get this kind of sort of flurry of, like a cat among the pigeons, that people get really upset about. It's only all these bloody people that sort of send in sort of their hard sales pitches. People don't like too much hard sell on social media. So the way that I always like to think about it from a content point of view is that social media is fantastic for raising your awareness, raising your profile, helping you show that you're an expert in your field, and you can do that by being useful, you can do that by being interesting, you can do that by providing a service to your customers online, but it's not necessarily a hard sales tool. There are exceptions, but by and large, most people find that it's good for profile raising, but it's not a hard sell. And what a lot of the bigger brands do is they tend to use social media for profile raising, and then they use email marketing to get the sale. Does that make sense to everybody? So now you can do some sales stuff on it. I'm not saying that you can't, but you just don't want every single post that you put out to be buy, because it just annoys people and they will just disconnect from you. It's not engaging, it's not that interesting, and you're just talking at them and not talking to them, and not it's about participating in a conversation. It's a bit like, if you walked into a cocktail party and you're an insurance salesman and you just went round handing your cards out saying, right, okay, so who's your life cover with? and you know, and how much cover do you need, and when are you going to, you would get really annoyed, wouldn't you? It would really, you know, be irritating. And it's exactly the same thing on social media. It's just, think of it just like a giant cocktail party out there, and they don't want people, insurance salesmen, no offence to insurance salesmen, but they don't want insurance salesmen going around trying to sort of get them to sign on the dotted line while they're supposed to be happy and enjoying themselves. People go onto social media, they don't go on social media to be sold to. People go onto social media to be entertained, to find out stuff, and to connect with their friends and family.
So is there any way that the hard sales can be filtered out? Is there a controlling body of...
Well, no, you are the user.
But if they keep coming, people have used, is it TweetDeck to already
well, you just
put in...
But you will only get to see it if you've chosen to have it. So if somebody in your Twitter feed is annoying you with hard sale, you just unfollow them, and then you won't get them anymore. So the user, you as the user, me as the user, I have control over whose stuff gets to come into my inbox. And that's the thing, is if you annoy people, they will just switch you off altogether. Okay. Does that make sense?
On, say, like Facebook, I've got a personal Facebook page, and I've also got a business page. You wouldn't expect people, if you like the business page, to be told information from that company about their products. If you like that particular business, personal. I wouldn't expect somebody. I do find a lot of companies they're using a personal page as a business page, which I don't think is right. You should have a business page. But would you expect, if you've got somebody with a business page, like that business page, to receive information about their products on that page?
Well, yes, but you're to receive you're clicking up, you're signing up to receive information, but that doesn't mean to say you want to see 20.
Entry, but
Right. So then, what about the entries that aren't about the products? And that's really what this is about. So I sort of think 1 in 4 is kind of the ratio that I come up with. It's not a hard and fast rule, but it's just something. If you're just starting out, it's something to start with. So content I need, number 1, something topical. Number 2 is about you, so that then do something a little bit sort of salesy, or something that says aren't I fab? And examples I put on there is special offers for, let's just say, Valentine's Day. That means not anything that you need to go to a clinic for. So you might do a special offer around Valentine's Day, or for Easter, or around Mother's Day. You might introduce a new member of staff via Facebook. You might, or any social media. You might show, let's say you've got a guest house and somebody writes a lovely testimonial in your visitor's book. That might be something you put on there. Or you might say, well, we've had a really interesting week this week. Here's 5 things that I've learned from my customers. That might make an interesting post. So do you get the idea? So it's
So
not.
where you've written down aside 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
are they your 4 blogs for the month?
They could be, but they don't have to be blogs. They could be tweets, they could be social media posts, they could be anything. It could be Instagram, it could be... well, a blog is normally longer.
Like writing.
Well,
I've never used a blog before.
Okay, so that, can I just park that one and talk to you about that one afterwards?
Yeah,
because
sure.
that sort of gets into the technical
Yeah,
area rather than
I've
the
used
content.
Twitter, Facebook,
A blog,
LinkedIn,
yeah.
but I've never used a blog.
A blog is an article.
Yeah.
All it means is it's a piece of content that resides only on your website, and then you would use the link from that page, and then you would post that out onto your social media. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got 4. So these are idea number 1, something that's topical. Idea number 2, something that's all about you. Number 3 is action. So you can intersperse your content with things when you want people to take action. So taking action could be take part in our survey, click here. Download our brochure, click here. Sign up for our newsletter, click here. Use this code to get a discount, click here. Come and see us at the Westmoreland show. That's something that is action, and it's very specific about what we want them to do. And the last one I've got is fun stuff. It might just be great pictures. It might just be a video clip. It might be, you might do a little podcast, sometimes you can do a little audio clip. You might do a slideshare presentation, and I'll tell you what that means in a minute. You could do some kind of crazy survey and get people to sort of click on something. So, does that make sense to everybody? Yes, so far? You're all still with me? You haven't sort of said it, right. And then I've also think it's a good idea to put on your calendar what your time commitment is. Now, don't get hung up on 4 and 25, they're just random numbers. What's important here is what you decide or what your client decides that they want to, how much time they want to devote to it. There is no rule that says you must do X every day. You must tweet 5 times a day. You must, Facebook, 100 times a day. There is no rule. It's all about what is right for you and what is right for your customer. How many of you have switched off stuff because you get too many? I know I have. So it's about getting the right balance. If you send people too many things, they'll switch off. If you send them not enough, they forget about you. And for everybody in the room, the ratio will be different. And you need to work that out depending on who your target customer is and what you're trying to achieve. Does that make sense? Right, so let's whiz it to... yes.
Is there any way that you can measure that how you could measure it's not enough or it's too much?
Well, I suppose it will really depend on what your bank account's looking like, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a direct sales tool, it's an awareness tool. And so, you've got to decide, whether you're getting engagement or not, or whether people are starting to unfollow you, or you can measure lots and lots of different things about social media, but whether or not you're doing the right amount or not is really that sort of gut feel. So I do it enough so that if I'm out and about and people will say to me, oh, right, I've seen you on Twitter, right, that to me tells me I'm doing the right kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Other things that I look for is a lot of the information I've been posting out on Twitter recently, a lot of people are favouriting it. They're clicking the favourite button, so they're keeping it. So that is a message to me that the content that I'm pushing out there is of interest to people, that they're interested enough to want to keep it and read it again later. Does that make sense? So you need to work out your own things that are going to tell you that something's going well. If people comment on it, if people share it, if people pass it on to their friends, these are all signals that you're looking for. But I can't tell everybody in the room that if you do, there isn't an exact formula. There are formulas, but they're not. But everybody's in this room will be different. Yes.
Does Twitter have its own analytics?
They're minimal inside Twitter, but you can, if you're going to use tools like TweetDeck or Hootsuite, and there's hundreds and hundreds of others, then you can get good analytics from those. Okay, right. Should we rattle on with this? Right, I'm just going to just get stuck in. Right, white papers. Does anybody know what a white paper is? White paper, if I said this, how-to guides, straight ways to, insiders' guides, manifestos, research reports, e-books, best practice handbooks, that all comes under the heading of white papers. White papers for business-to-business marketing is actually a really good tool, and it's a long-form piece of content. It's a booklet. It's I'm trying to sort of think. You could do one. You could do a how to display flowers once you get them home. You could do a little sort of e-book with lots of lovely pictures and lots of lovely examples. Everybody in this room could, if they thought about it, could create something. And the idea is you ask people to sign up for it. So just as an example, so this is a good example. Somebody's done a white paper this format for it's a PDF that people can download on how to care for an elderly horse. Download now. Clear call to action button on there. You've probably also that's a boring picture. You can also get a lot of business-to-business ones. If you want, they advertise this free booklet, but in order to get it, they want your details. And that will be so they will post the link out to that on social media, and then when you click on it, it takes you to a page, and then they want your details, and then once you've got your details, you can get the free piece of content. Yes, you'll see those? And that's that's what white papers do. The good thing about white papers is they will have a long shelf life, and they will last a long time, and they're a really good mechanism for getting people to drive. They're good for driving traffic to your website. And then once you've got them to your website, you can capture their names and addresses, and then you've got a mailing list, and then you can feed that mailing list into your email marketing activities. So it's just, so it's a really good way of getting social media working well with direct marketing.